what's up again there viewers? Brian here, the 3 Topics Gamer, and I have a nice little rant video to share with you guys today. Now, I just got finished watching the State of Play for the day of September 14th, 2023, and though I was a little bit excited after having literally just finished watching it on my television here, literally like a few minutes ago, I can say without question that this was by far one of the worst State of Plays that I've seen in at least 2 years. So starting off with the very first game that they showed off looked like an indie title for a game called Baby Steps, and I gotta tell you, this game visually looked like crap. I mean, this game looks like it came out in the beginning stages of the PlayStation 3 era, and I can say games from that era look better than this. Apparently, the concept is you play as this guy walking around in his pajamas, and apparently he just has a hard time walking and balancing, and why anyone would think this is fun is beyond me. I mean, trust me, I've seen a lot of indie titles that in concept look fun, but in execution they just don't seem to work, and I can't imagine anybody playing. But heck, I'm sure for every game there's an audience out there, so heck, I'm sure there's some people who might be interested in this game, but I am not the target audience for this type of experience. The next thing they showed us was 2 PlayStation VR 2 games. The first one being a game called Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord. I am not a fan of PlayStation VR. I think I attempted playing PlayStation VR once back in 2013 at E3. I tried one game and I didn't really have fun with it, and since then I've never really given PlayStation VR a chance. So now that there is PlayStation VR 2, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anybody who has this, or I've never heard of anyone actually trying this thing out. Maybe there's people out there that have it and are having fun with it, but it's just not something I'm interested into. And so it was this Ghostbusters game that I obviously was never going to play. And then they announced that, guess what? Resident Evil 4 Remake is coming on VR. Now, Resident Evil Remake is a game I've already chosen to avoid like the plague because of the damage that they've done to the original game in concept and in execution. So this was never a game I was going to give a chance. And then they also announced that they are now going to be releasing the Ada Wong Separate Ways storyline, or technically the side game that comes with Resident Evil 4 Remake, which we all knew they were going to do anyway, and they also announced that both Ada and Wesker will be playable in the mercenary mode for that game. So since I had no interest in playing the Resident Evil 4 Remake, I have no interest in playing the Resident Evil 4 Remake Separate Ways campaign, which I think is a good thing. Next thing that they showed off is a brand new trailer for the upcoming Avatar game. Gonna be honest, another game I was never interested in. I don't even think I've seen the last Avatar film. I think I saw the original one once on like a tiny screen near its release many years ago, and I wasn't impressed with that film, so I didn't go see the second film. So if I'm not interested in the films, I don't know why I would ever be in the games. But heck, they just showed off a little bit more of the story, more of the gameplay, more of the visuals, and yeah, not my cup of tea. So next thing they showed off is another trailer for an upcoming game that had some pretty interesting stylized visual looks in a form of a game called Ghost Runner. That name sounds familiar, but at first I thought it might have been like an expansion for the upcoming Cyberpunk expansion game. But no, that wasn't the case. I don't think we saw much gameplay. We might have seen some gameplay, or at least some enhancements that looked like gameplay or give the illusion of gameplay. But I don't really have much to say about this one. Maybe if I see more of it, I might be convinced to give it a try, but as of right now, heck, I'll move on. Next thing that they showed off is that PlayStation is releasing 3 new colors for controllers and plates. Now, I think that the colors themselves are really cool. They come up with a dark, like kind of like a ruby red, a darker blue, and silver. Now, these colors are really nice. Unfortunately, my original white controller's battery was getting so bad that its charge could only hold for about less than an hour. So I recently already bought another PlayStation 5 controller. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll be getting either new plates to change the look of my PlayStation 5 or a new controller for at minimum another 2 years. So heck, wish this announcement had come a little bit earlier. Maybe I would have held off and picked up one of these controllers when they eventually come out. But heck, I think the colors are good, but I don't think I'll be getting any one of them. Then they showed off some more gameplay for the upcoming game called Helldivers 2, which I'm going to be honest, I don't even know why they didn't just call this game Starship Troopers. I mean, I understand that if you've actually read the book Starship Troopers, they're not actually fighting the arachnids on the ground. They're actually in these like giant mech suits, so maybe that's why they just want to confuse people. But they showed off some team gameplay, and I have to say, is it just me? Maybe it was just me, but it did sound like the team talking seemed a little bit phoned in or a little bit lifeless, as though these people weren't even playing this game. They were just watching and just spouting out lines. I mean, the gameplay from what I saw was okay visually, and it didn't seem too chaotic. I could kind of understand what was going on, but just it didn't really feel like the people playing it were really into this game. So I'm still not sure if this is a game I might give it a try. Maybe if I get some friends together, or if I get in contact with some other people that are interested in playing it, maybe I'll give this game a try when it comes out. But as it stands right now, I'll give it a pass. Next, probably the highlight, at least for me, some sense or another, was they showed some more gameplay for the upcoming Spider-Man 2, which comes out in the near future. Now look, at this point, they don't need to, I don't think we needed this. I've already paid for my copy of Spider-Man 2. I've already paid. Sony, Insomniac, you already have my money. If I had had enough time to save up, I would have easily picked up the collector's edition and spent well over $200. So I'm already sold on this game. Now, they showed off some gameplay in terms of how Spider-Man and Miles Morales, or technically Peter Parker and Miles Morales, are being able to get around New York a little bit more. They showed off that the maps can be a little bit bigger. They added a couple new areas. They also showed that this game is going to have well over 60 different suits, multiple different customizations. So really, when I compare this to the original Spider-Man Marvel game, they pretty much added just about everything I would have expected. They said that there are also going to be some new villains that have not been introduced into this Spider-Verse that we are expected to see that they haven't revealed. So I expect we'll probably see another 3, 4, possibly 5 villains that are classic Spider-Man villains that haven't been revealed yet that are going to be introduced in this game. So heck, I'm already sold. I already know this game is going to be awesome. The second I get it, I will be playing this game nonstop, and this will probably end up easily being one of the best games of this year, possibly a Game of the Year contender if it comes early enough. And then they showed off a couple of JRPGs that I really wasn't too familiar with. I think gameplay-wise looked pretty solid. Artistically, visually, they look pretty solid. But these are games of JRPGs that I'm really not too familiar with. And I'm the kind of person that if a friend of mine wasn't already a fan and wouldn't recommend them to me, this didn't seem like games that I would actually go out of my way to try out. But heck, maybe if one of you guys have played it and you think it's good and I should give it a try, maybe I'll give it a chance then. But as of right now, I'd probably give it a pass. And then to close off the show, they decided to give us an official release date as well as to show off more gameplay and cinematics for the upcoming Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, whatever the hell it is. Now look, it's no secret. Anyone who has watched my channel knows how I feel about the so-called Final Fantasy VII Remake. It is without question the worst video game that I will never play, and I just do not like what they did to the Final Fantasy VII story. It's so bad that this game looks unrecognizable. I look at this game and I don't even see Final Fantasy VII anymore. I don't know who I'm watching. I don't know what I'm seeing. I don't understand. There's just so much stuff going on that is just beyond me. It doesn't even feel like Final Fantasy VII anymore. But I'm sure this game has its audience and they're excited to play this game. They also announced that this game will be coming out early February, like late February of next year. And then I'm pretty much sure that since they're milking the hell out of this game, the third part, which is undoubtedly going to come out, is probably going to come out at the beginning part when the PlayStation 6 comes out. So it's going to be quite a while before we actually get to play all 3 of these milked out expansion sets for Final Fantasy VII, which I'm not happy about. And I tell you, if they even consider doing this to Final Fantasy X, I'm going to suffer a stroke or a heart attack. I'm praying that day never comes, but heck, screw you, give us money. This is Square Enix, or, who knows what'll happen. So overall, I did not really enjoy this state of play. It felt really too quick. They didn't show off anything. I was expecting like one big announcement, like maybe show us an official announcement of Ghost of Tsushima 2, or a new Ratchet and Clank game, or a new IP, something, but they just did not give us anything new or interesting, and I'm really upset about that. Maybe we'll get a better set of announcements of the next state of play whenever that happens, but this one was by far the worst state of play that I've seen in some time, at least minimum 2 years. So those are my thoughts and rants on today's state of play. What did you think? Were there some games you were excited for? Were there some things you weren't excited for? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you like this video, make sure you give this a thumbs up. Make sure you follow me on all my social media outlets, which are links in the description down below. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you next time.